Those numbers are key because it's not a question of if Mr. Rager owes Ford Motor Credit any money. It's just a question of how much. And that dollar amount decision is going to be up to 12 jurors that were chosen today. Those flashing lights and neon signs saying, hey, this is where you can stop and get a six-pack. It's definitely a different texture. And that's also what's going to start happening out on the roads. But there's about to be another set of eyes out on the road from a different angle. Every Durham school bus is getting cameras. Also these lake levels, trying to make sure after this drought that everything is okay. Good morning and thanks for joining us. I'm Avery Travis. A man crosses over the highway median and crashes into an 18-wheeler, getting trapped in his pickup. It's Friday, September 13th, so maybe a lot of people a little nervous to leave the house today. Yeah. Jacob, are you superstitious? He made the comment that they've only moved a little to the right, while your party has moved dramatically to the left. What do you have to say in response to that? Police are still investigating this accident. Meanwhile, we looked into how many people have been hit by cars this year. From January to August, 9 people were killed, down to the pennies. That's $53,759,450.96. You can even see that here on the verdict, printed in the jurors' handwriting. Mr. Rager, any comments on the verdict in this case? Anything you'd like to say to customers, anyone affected, anything else?
If you're building a home or buying a home, I think it's a fair question to ask.
What's in your walls, your attic? Becky Teal's been asking these questions for nearly 7 years.
To raise the standard of safety.
Since her son Brennan was killed in a fire that the fire marshals say was caused by a lightning strike and a type of gas tubing called CSST.
They aren't as safe as we want them to be.
Leading the city of Lubbock to ask questions too.
They investigated the issue thoroughly.
Steve O'Neill was the chief building official when council ultimately banned types of the tubing. Until this legislative session, when the governor signed House Bill 2439 into law.
That's a big loss. It really is.
It says city governments can't do what Lubbock did, ban a building material that meets national safety codes.
We now will not have the ability in many ways to come back in and customize our codes for our own unique hazards.
Steve O'Neill and Becky spoke out against it, arguing Lubbock homeowners are more at risk for a dangerous lightning strike and fire than other Texans. And on the other side, organizations, saying they promote the use of materials that meet those national standards to ensure vendors can't dictate the materials used across the state. And even our Lubbock lawmakers voting yes. We've reached out to them. One passed on an interview and one never returned our calls.
For whatever reason, the legislature feels like it's safe and they trump us.
The mayor says it's frustrating, but their hands are tied, leaving homeowners to do their own homework.
Ask your contractor what they're using.
They're going to worry about their fit and finish. The homeowner has a right to assume that those types of things are safe, and they will never think about it.
Avery Travis, KMAC News. The day can speed by. A moment of silence here, a passing thought there. But for Bob Moore,
I owe it to people that lost their lives.
September 11th is more than a day on the calendar.
I stood out here on New York time until the last tower fell.
This Vietnam veteran serving as a physical reminder of what was lost that day.
9/11 hurt me deeply.
And how many affected are still hurting.
It's to honor the people that died and that are still dying.
He says it's a small thing he can do, slowing down, remembering, and maybe showing you can too. Avery Travis, KMAC News.